I've been following USC. I guess it's kind of the West Coast bias here. And I've been following them for a while. I just thought, obviously, looking at the run that they had, uh, in the Pac-12 and then watching them play, that I thought that game would be obviously a little bit closer than I thought. Um, Gonzaga is a great team, but I thought at least USC would be able to keep that close there. But I mean, out the gate, Gonzaga pretty much handled them, no issues. So I just thought the combination of the guard play and then also the inside presence of USC would be able. It's enough of a balance to keep that game close. I would have never thought it was going to be, kind of a beatdown like we've seen,
But if you remember, West, that game really, the way it unfolded was the Ohio State Clemson game to me.
It really was, and Gonzaga's that good. They really are. But not to beat a dead horse or salt on an open wound or anything like that, but the Pac-12 right now, I believe, sits at 12-2 against the spread. So with two Pac-12 teams in that tournament, I did not think that UCLA was going to be the one that covered, let alone win as a dog. So no, so and even when you look at the games coming up this weekend, there was a lot of underdogs that showed up. I think it was 5 underdogs that covered in the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. So out of all the dogs that were on the card, USC, nobody's come close on them. They got those Mobley brothers that are both going to have pretty successful NBA careers, and they've been shooting really well, and they've owned the board. So I thought that this was going to be a game that Gonzaga would get challenged for the first time. Didn't necessarily think USC was going to win the game, but I did not like two Pac-12 teams to not cover, and we were on the wrong Pac-12 team.
Yeah, but while we got you here, let's talk. There's 2 games, Houston and Baylor, and we've won on all of these guys. UCLA is the only team that didn't cash me a lot of tickets this year. I mean, Gonzaga cashed me a lot of tickets. Talk to me about these 2 games.
So these games are challenging, and I realize that I'm going back to the well on this. But when I look at the Houston Baylor game, Houston has not been scoring a lot of points in this tournament, which is not who they are at all. But this Baylor plays fast. They're one of the fastest teams in the league, and I mean they'll fire off 2-3 shots every minute. And Houston, the way that they're capable of owning the boards, they're going to get themselves extra opportunities shooting the ball, and even more so in a game like this where Baylor likes to play fast. The teams that Houston's played against in this tournament have tried to slow it down. So there's very few times that we get points on the Houston side of things. That first half, 29.5, it's a 62 over-under for the first half. I'm looking at over that 62, and I like taking the points on the Houston side just because of the way that they can play defense, they can rebound, and how fast Baylor is going to want to play this game. And plus Houston with 5 days, 6 days to prepare. The other game, I could talk about the other game for a while, but I don't think it's smart to bet against Gonzaga, but I certainly am not comfortable with 14 points. And you kind of got opposite ends of the spectrum. You have Gonzaga, who is the highest averaging shooting team in the tournament, while UCLA makes teams average the lowest percentage of their shots. And I'm sorry, UCLA. And UCLA also, they've played against what's proven to be the toughest conference in the tournament all along the way, all season long. So they're used to playing against teams like Gonzaga. So I'm going to play that one live, and I'm not going to go into it with any action at all because I just don't like 14 on anybody, even though the Gonzaga looks like they could compete with the Lakers. But there's going to be a dog that covers, and we've never had Houston as a dog this season. And they've taken pretty good care of us.
As far as that Gonzaga UCLA game goes, I'm kind of similar situation with Wes. I'm going to wait and watch for some in-game opportunities. Just the spread kind of scares me a little bit. I mean, if you look at Gonzaga, I believe they have the most double-digit covers or whatever that specific realm is, but I know it's pretty impressive. But I'm going to kind of watch the first, 5 minutes and then evaluate that game.